Okay, all the questions we're going to do today have appeared in previous exam papers. Some I've modified a little bit to match your syllabus, which is slightly different from the foundation syllabus. So these are questions using the IATA way of expressing a question. You'll find when you do your test, sometimes it takes you longer to work out what do they want than knowing the answer. So you have to be prepared for that. Understanding the question is going to be part of the course. You may think, well, why? You know, this is not an English course. But the thing is, the language of tourism is English. If I try to do this lesson with you all in German or Dutch, I don't think we get very far. And if you answered me in Arabic, we're not going to go anywhere. So the language of tourism and international business is English. And it's a tool, you know, it's a tool like any other tool. I don't consider English a better language than German. Yeah, of course it's not. It's not a better language than Arabic. It is a useful tool. It's a useful language, but that doesn't make it a better language. So anyway, we'll start with the usual screen share. And if you could tell me when the screen is on your screen. Have you got it yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's came now.
Okay. So as mentioned, these are all questions from previous year's papers. This is odd. Right, can you all see this booking?
Yeah.
Right. The journey, the fare break point is KWI, which is Kuwait. And we're going from Los, ACC, CAI, KWI. That's the outbound. Inbound is Los, Dubai, KWI. Then we've got all the itinerary, okay? You'll notice here, it tells you the departure date and the arrival date. Sometimes it will say +1 or +2 or -1. Sometimes it gives you the actual date. Sometimes it will give you the day of the week. Depends which system you're using. So travel for this journey is, now this is a fare. So we're interested in TC1, sub-areas, and the groups that sub-areas form, not geography. So Cairo for geography is in Africa, but for fares and ticketing, it counts as where? Middle East. Anybody know where Los is? L-O-S. Okay. Anybody know where ACC is? Right. Los is Lagos in Nigeria, and ACC is Accra in Ghana. Now, yours is an open book, so you can actually look these up. but we're already wasting time. And remember, your enemy in the exam is time, not your knowledge, but the time. So you may like to go onto YouTube. I sent you the list of all the cities and countries and so on. So there's maps there. There's quizzes on cities and countries. It might save you a little bit of time. The reason why LOS and ACC are there is Lagos is in Nigeria, which is an oil producing country. Consequently, there's a lot of business between the Gulf and Lagos. Yeah, both regions are massive oil producers. Accra is not an oil producer, Accra in Ghana, but it is a big tourist resort, a big tourist country, sorry. If you live in Europe, Ghana, Accra in Ghana, or Ghana, is so well known for its beaches. To go there is actually very cheap. Cost of living in Ghana is much, much lower. So you can have a pretty good holiday there. So travel for this journey is wholly within Africa. Wholly means 100%. Now, if I'm going to Kuwait, is that in Africa?
No.
No. Area 3, wholly Area 3. Well, if it's the Middle East and Africa, it can't be Area 3. It's going to be Area 2. Anywhere in Europe here?
No.
No. In that case, it's got to be D. Even without reading it, I know it's got to be D because it cannot be the first 3. And that's 1 point in an exam. How many transfers in this journey? Now, if Lagos is the origin, Kuwait is the fair break point, do I count those two when it comes to transfers?
No.
No. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Tell me, what does it mean, a transfer? Is a transfer a stopover? Is it a connection? Is it both?
Connection.
Okay, a transfer for this time, for fares, it means both. It means basically you are transferring from one flight to another. Whether you stay or don't stay, doesn't matter. You are changing planes. If you are staying less than 24 hours, you can call it a connecting flight, sometimes called a transit. Okay? And if you're staying for more than 24 hours, it's a stopover. So the transfer and transit are the two tricky ones. Transfer simply means change planes. Okay? A transit, or better still, connecting flight, means you connect within or less than 24 hours. So we got 3 of them. Which journey represents the global indicator outbound and inbound? Now, we've already decided everything is Area 2. Africa, Africa, Middle East, Middle East, Middle East, Africa. The EH is going to be EH, done, finished, an easy 1 point. And this is what you have to do in your exam. Search for the easy questions first and collect all the points. Then go back and do the ones where you have to think or calculate, like the time calculation. You have to work that one out. Takes a bit longer. still only worth 1 point. Yeah, so collect points first, then go back and do it. But when you take the exam, read at the beginning carefully the instructions for doing the exam. Is there a special way you have to do this or that? Okay. Now we come to how many stopovers for the inbound. Yeah, it's very easy to get mixed up on outbound and inbound. And of course, you'll get maybe different answers. This is the outbound, Lagos to Kuwait. Inbound is Lagos to Kuwait or Kuwait to Lagos via Dubai. So Dubai is a transfer point, but we need to look at the itinerary. Yeah. What date do I go from Kuwait to Dubai?
20 March.
20 March. And when do I leave Dubai?
30.
30. That looks like a stopover to me. So there's one on the inbound. If the question says how many stopovers is in this itinerary, different question, different answer. So read the questions carefully. And another thing they'll do is you might get the first question, blah, 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 inbound. Next question, blah, 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 inbound. Third question, blah, 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 outbound. And your brain's still going on inbound. Right. How many Kuwaiti taxes apply to this journey? Right, we have a Kuwait tax here, number 2, number 3. We've got 3 taxes. And these were the taxes actually used in the exam paper. So number 1, airport departure tax, KW. International departures from Kuwait. So Kuwait to Dubai, yeah, that's international. Basically, everything from Kuwait is international. It's like Bahrain. All our flights are international. We don't have domestic flights. There's no domestic flights from Manama to Hamad Town, you know? Right, for tickets sold in Kuwait, where does this journey start?
Continue.
Lagos,
Lagos.
Nigeria. Yeah, Lagos, Nigeria. So that's not Kuwait. Let's keep reading. For tickets sold outside Kuwait. Ah, yeah, this would have been sold outside. The amount converted into the currency of payment, USD 7.5. So you have to collect USD 7.5 and convert that into the currency of the country of payment. So far, we have got 1 tax to pay. But there are some exemptions. Diplomats. What do I mean, a diplomat? Any ideas?
Those who are working for the government.
Thank you. It's government appointed people. So diplomats. Tell me, how many of you working in travel have done flights for a diplomat? Is that a normal everyday thing? No, of course not. Okay. So we assume they're normal people like you and me. So a diplomat, official guests of the Kuwait government, children under 12, deportees. What's a deportee? We had that in the SSR codes, deportee. A deportee is a foreigner in a country who is being kicked out. So say, for instance, I did something wrong in Bahrain and the government of Bahrain says, right, you've broken the law, get out. I would be deported. And there's two types of deported passengers. DEPA. Now, DEPA is a deported passenger. A stands for accompanied. That means there will be an immigration, a police officer, some government official on the plane with me, making sure I get off at the other end. And there's DEPU, DEPU, which is a deporting passenger unaccompanied. That means they trust me to get on the plane and get off at the other end properly. Transit passenger. Well, we already know that's the fare break point, so no, not a transit passenger. And the tax is interlineable. When a tax is interlineable, it means whoever is the validating carrier, the issuing carrier, they are responsible to make sure that tax is on the ticket, even if they're not flying there. So for instance, we are leaving Lagos with airline W3, but we're not flying with W3 in or out of Kuwait. Doesn't matter, it's interlineable tax, which means they issue the ticket, they are responsible. So, having looked at all of this, do you think I have to pay, for a normal person, they have to pay this tax, yes or no?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Yeah, of course, sorry. This tax, USD 7.50, does that tax have to be paid by a normal everyday passenger?
I think yes.
Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. So we've got one tax. Now let's look at tax number 2, airport service charge. KWD 0.4 is levied, charged, on all international departures from Kuwait Airport. The airport service charge is to be collected at the point of sale and shown on the ticket. The only exemptions are transit passengers. They're not transit passengers. Airline crew. They're not airline crew. They're normal people. So we have to pay this tax as well. So we've now got 2 taxes to pay for. Let's have a look at this one. Passenger service charge. For international departures, USD 0.80. Tax to be collected at point of sale, shown separately on the ticket. The lifting airline is responsible for remittance. Now, the validating carrier is W3. The lifting carrier, that's the carrier who is actually flying the flight. That's EK. Yeah, the flight leaving Kuwait is EK. So it doesn't matter. It would be, it's put on the ticket by W3. Airline crew on duty. So I make it, we've got 3 taxes, sorry. Beg your pardon. So we have to collect all 3 taxes. This one, this one, this one. Is everyone clear why we are collecting all 3 taxes? Or is there a tax that you're not sure about? We're okay? Let's have a look at this one. Here's tax for another country. No, I can't read the top line here, but it says 5% of the applicable fare is to be levied on tickets issued for international travel originating in Egypt. Tell me, does this ticket originate in Egypt?
No.
No, it originates, in this case, it's Accra. So, no tax number one. Let's look at tax number two. The following amounts have to be levied on the following documents issued in Egypt. If the passenger starts their journey in Accra, Ghana, where do you think the ticket was issued?
Ghana.
In Ghana. So it's not issued in Egypt. I don't pay that. Let's have a look at tax number three. Ticket issuance fee. 25% of the applicable fare to be levied on all tickets issued for international transportation originating in Egypt. I don't pay that one either. So 3 out of 3 so far, I don't pay. We have to look at where is the ticket issued, originating, paid. Normally, tickets are issued, originate, and paid where they start. If you've got a ticket that goes Bahrain, Paris, London, it's very unusual for it to be issued in Paris, isn't it? Because how are you going to get from Bahrain to Paris? Okay, tax number 4, an embarkation tax QH. USD 15, equivalent of EGP 87, to be levied on all tickets issued inside or outside of Egypt. That means everywhere. For each international departure from an airport in Egypt. Only exemption, transit passengers. So do you think we have to pay this tax for this journey? Okay.
No.
Where is if it's issued inside Egypt or outside Egypt? This ticket was issued outside Egypt, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right. And is it an international departure, Cairo to Kuwait? Is that international?
Yes.
Right. We have to pay this tax. So I've got one tax to pay. Service charge domestic. If you look at this journey from Cairo to Kuwait, is that domestic?
No.
Right, I don't pay that tax. It's for domestic only. Tax number 6, airport facility charge. This charge is to be collected for Marsa Alam Airport only. Where's this passenger going from? Cairo. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, he's not going from Marsa Alam, so he doesn't pay it. Service charge at Cairo Airport. Okay. USD 1 for each domestic or international departure from Cairo Airport. Okay. For upgrade of check-in system. That's what the tax is for. Exemptions, none. Everybody pays it. Adult, child, infant, diplomat, no exceptions. I think he has to pay that tax. Yeah. So we got 2 now. Departure fee, JK. EGP 50 to be levied on all passengers departing on international flights. The fee is to be collected at the point of sale and shown separately on the ticket. The lifting airline is responsible for admission. Exemptions, transit passengers only. When does he arrive in Cairo? Have a look at the itinerary. 10th of March. And when does he leave Cairo?
11 March.
So if I arrive at 9 o'clock, 9:25 at night, and I leave at 9:10 the next morning, is that more than 24 hours?
No.
No, it's about 12 hours. An exemption, transit passengers. So he's exempt from that tax. So we found 2 taxes. Why does it say none?
Because in GH number 4 is
Here we go, exemption. Yes, I beg your pardon. I didn't read the exemptions. Okay. Yeah, I missed the exemptions on the QH. Okay. See how easy it is to make a mistake? I mean, if, you know, you've got a lot to read here. In your exam, I'm hoping this is the question you will do last of all, because you've got a lot to read, haven't you? Agreed?
Yeah.
Right. Are you going to get extra points because you have to read a lot, or are you still going to get 1 point?
1 point.
You're still going to get 1 point. So you leave this till the end. If you get it right, wonderful. If you get it wrong, well, at least you've collected all the other points. So my apologies there. The QH tax is not applicable to transit passengers. Okay, here we have a journey, and it's an excursion flexi fare within Area 3. Fare breakpoint is Kuala Lumpur to MNL. Where's MNL?
Manila.
Manila. If I get a question on a restricted fare, it's a good idea to start with what? Which condition is it a good idea to start with? Stopovers. Normally, on a restricted fare, how many stopovers can you have normally? None. 0. Mafi, you can't have stopovers on restricted fares normally. If you can have stopovers, the rule will tell you where you can have the stopovers, how many, is it per price unit, is it out and in, how much do they cost? It tells you. If it doesn't say anything about stopovers, in other words, you look for the stopover paragraph, there is no stopover paragraph, it means no stopovers. So if the fare breakpoint is Kuala Lumpur to Manila, outbound, we've got Kuala Lumpur, Hong Kong, Manila. Could you tell me, is Hong Kong, is it a stopover or a connecting flight?
Stopover.
It's a stopover. 30th of November, 10th of December, that's definitely a stopover. Coming back, Manila to Kuala Lumpur, that's point to point. So you can't have stopovers on a point to point. So, does the number of stopovers comply with this rule? How many stopovers am I permitted?
1.
One in each direction. Now I've got one outbound, so that's okay. When they say you can have one in each direction, it doesn't mean you must have one. It means you can if you want. This passenger only wants one out. They don't want any back. It's okay. You can have 0. You can have one out or one back or one out and one back. Okay? So it's very precise what they tell you as far as stopovers are concerned. So far, this journey is okay for this rule. Maximum stay. What is the maximum stay?
3.
3 months. Now, if I go on the 30th of November, what is the maximum stay date?
28.
28 February.
Okay, November, December, January,
99.
February. Everyone agree?
Yeah.
December, January, February. Now, somebody just, I heard someone say 28th of February. Absolutely correct. Because the 30th of November is the last day of the month. And the last day of the month of February is the 28th. Okay, so your answer was correct, 28th of February. All of my flights finish by the 12th of December. And the validity is February. So is it okay for maximum stay?
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
okay. Okay, let's try minimum stay. 2 days. That would make it the 2nd of December. 30th of November is the last day. 1st, 2nd of December. I cannot come back from the last stopover point, Manila, until the 2nd of December. Does that look okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, even if I got mixed up and I took Hong Kong, it's still okay. So, yes. Okay, here's another itinerary. Again, sub-areas. It's very important when you look at fares for sub-areas. So if you've printed out your book or you've got your book, you know there's that section on sub-areas. Please, put a little tab in it so that you can find sub-areas very quickly. Because in a couple of months, you cannot possibly remember every single country in every single sub-area in the world. I can't remember. You can give me some countries in Africa, maybe some Caribbean islands, and I would have to check. And I've been doing it for a lot longer than you. So this is not because you're slow or stupid. It's because there's so much to know. Yeah. Check. Where does this journey start? Which city?
Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Malaysia is in which sub-area, do you think?
South Asian.
Southeast Asia, absolutely. And then we go to
There's only one.
Hong Kong, Manila, Kuala Lumpur. Out of all these answers, where do you think we start and finish?
D.
It's D. Southeast Asia to Southeast Asia. Everything's in Southeast Asia. Hong Kong, Southeast Asia. Kuala Lumpur, Southeast Asia. Manila, the Philippines, Southeast Asia. Okay. Are we okay on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, yesterday I did post or send you some emails with links for some more tests, online tests.
Yes.
Please, please, please do them. Well, you can do them once or twice. It doesn't matter. But I would really like you to have your books handy, because you need to see under exam conditions, what am I likely to get? Now, if you do it all from memory and you get 50%, for sure, you use your book, you're going to get that extra, 25. It's no problem for you. Okay. But if you've got your book handy and you do the test, then it will give you an indication of what you can expect in the exam. Most importantly is to show you where are your weak areas, because obviously those are the areas that you need to index in your book and maybe do some of the online quizzes again. Right. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia is area
3 to 3.
is 3 to 3. Everything's in area 3. So the global indicator is EH. Yeah. Only area 2 to 3 does it get complicated. If it's all in area 1, WH, all in area 2, EH, all in area 3, EH. But you get area 2 and 3, 3 and 2, then you've got the RUFETSEH. Now, here's a fair calculation. The applicable inbound fare. Tell me, if I have an inbound fare, could it be a one-way?
No.
No. One-way fares only have outs. Return journeys, they have out and in. So here we've got Bangkok, find the amount here. The city in front is Boston. So this is Bangkok to Boston, and then Boston back to Bangkok. And I've got 2 fares here. Which one is the inbound fare? This one or this one?
3947.
That's the one. That's your inbound. If I wanted the outbound, it's this, 4722.13. If I wanted the total fare, 8669.89. Now, what type of journey is this? Well, we've already decided it's a return. How many different types of return journey are there?
Round and circle.
Absolutely, round and circle trip. A round trip has 2 fare components, out, in. Well, this has got 2 fares, so yeah, that's okay. But how many different global indicators can you have on a round trip?
1 only.
1 only. Okay. Bangkok is area
3.
3. Oslo.
1.
Oslo
2.
in Norway. Europe. 2. Boston area.
1.
1. So 3, 2, 1. Bangkok, Oslo. Am I crossing an ocean here anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oslo to Boston, that's an Atlantic. Okay. If I go from Boston to Sydney, that's area 1 to 3, am I crossing an ocean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Pacific. So I've got Atlantic out and Pacific back, agreed?
Yeah.
So how many different global indicators?
2.
2. So can it be a round trip?
No.
No.
It must be a circle trip then. Process of elimination. Okay. Now you may be thinking, hang on, there's a PN and a PA and an SA and an AT. Yes, there is. But I don't need to work all these things out for this question. I just need to know, is there going to be a different global indicator? And if I've got Atlantic out, Pacific back, the answer is yes. Which Pacific doesn't matter. Which Atlantic doesn't matter. Yeah. Just knowing it's Atlantic Pacific is enough to get me to answer this question. So work smart, not hard. Right, the fare breakdown. This is a fare calculation and it breaks down the fare. In this fare breakdown, there is a mileage surcharge. True or false?
No.
No, it's false because M. If there's a surcharge, we'd have 5M, 10, 15, 20, 25M. Now, I've got a total fare of 669.89. And there's a rate of exchange, 32.93000. And this will change the NUC amount into which currency? USD, euros, or Thai baht? Okay, which country does the journey start?
Thailand.
Thailand. NUCs are always converted into the currency of the country of commencement. So if we start in Thailand, that NUC amount is going to be converted into Thai money, Thai baht. If I want to pay in Bahrain dinars, it's okay, but I have to take the Thai baht, BSR, then into Bahrain dinars. I can't go NUC directly to a foreign currency. It always has to be the currency of the country of commencement. Is that clear?
Yes.
Ooh. Travel in this journey is via which global indicator? But they don't tell me where's the fare break point. Where's NBO?
Nairobi.
Nairobi in Africa. Do you know DKR?
Dakar.
Well done. Dakar in Senegal, also Africa. MAD.
Madrid.
Madrid in Spain. LHR.
Heathrow, London.
Heathrow, London. Careful now. JFK. That's an airport.
New York.
New York. Well done. CDG.
Paris,
Paris. So we're going Africa, Europe, USA, and back. So I'm going from area 2, 2, 1. Am I crossing an ocean?
yes, the Atlantic.
And that's your answer. Okay. But it does help. You can see it does help if you know some of your city codes. Yes, you could look it up, but all of you, you knew these, most of you, you knew these cities. You answered that question like that. Whereas if you have to look up Nairobi, Dakar, CDG, it wastes time. Okay, here's a journey. DEL, where's DEL?
Delhi.
Delhi. If you get this one right, I'm going to be totally impressed. CGK.
Is it the second airport in Bangkok?
No, but you're in the right part of the world.
I know it, but I can't remember now.
It's Indonesia, Jakarta, the airport in
Jakarta,
airport
yes.
code Jakarta. But like I said, I would have been totally shocked that if anyone got that one, because we've never mentioned it in class before. But we have now. CGK is the airport code for Jakarta, capital of Indonesia. Bangkok, you definitely know. BOM. Where's BOM?
Bombay.
Mumbai. And then back to Delhi.
Delhi.
Right. So Delhi, what sub area is Delhi in?
South Asian subcontinent.
Excellent. South Asian subcontinent. And Indonesia and Thailand?
Southeast.
Southeast Asia. So is it within Southeast Asia? No. Southeast Asia and the South Asian subcontinent. That might be right.
Yes.
Southeast Asia, Southwest Pacific.
No.
Where's the Southwest Pacific? What part of the world's that in?
Australia.
Japan, Korea.
Down
Australia.
Australia and New Zealand, yes. And then within South Asian subcontinent. No, we're back to B. Okay. So all of these you're getting quite fast. Here they have NPMs. I've no idea why, except it's just there to confuse you, because the question is, how many stopover points? Does that have anything to do with the NPM?
No.
No, it's to do with the dates. So Delhi to Singapore, 10th, Singapore to Jakarta, 11th. Do you think that's a stopover or a transit?
Transit.
Transit. Okay. And we're looking for stopover, so that doesn't count. Okay. Jakarta. Okay,
That's
we'll
a stopover.
assume that Jakarta is the fair break point because it's the furthest place away. Okay. Ah, now I can see why maybe they've got some NPMs here. Do you all know very well a map of the world in every single country? No. So which would be your fair break point? Singapore, Bangkok, or Jakarta? Because they're all in that sort of area. But if I told you the miles, Delhi to Singapore is 5921, Jakarta is 7282, and Bangkok is 4303, which place is furthest away from Delhi?
Jakarta.
That's why they've got the NPMs there. so that if you don't know the geography, by looking at the MPMs, you can say, it must be Jakarta as the fair break point because it's the furthest place away. So if you know the geography, you pick Jakarta. If you don't know the geography, look at the MPMs and see which place is furthest away. Both work. So I'm not going to count Singapore. I'm not going to count Jakarta because it's the fair break point. Bangkok, I arrive on the 27th and I leave on the 27th. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. In that case, that's not a stopover. How long am I in Mumbai? Now, I arrive on the 27th at 21:55. I leave on the 28th, the next day, at 21:10. Is that more than 24 hours?
No.
It's a little bit less. So we have, hang on. Right. Let me just double check this because I can't read half the stuff. 10, 20, right, here we go. Because when I display the screen, I have a bar at the top, you know, a control bar. So it blocks out some of the question. Identify the journey type. One-way return, open jaw, RTW. Have you ever heard of RTW? Have we talked about it even once? No, that can't be the answer then. It's got to be A, B, or C. You are not going to be asked a question about something that is not in your training book. Okay? So if you see something weird like RTW, ZYX, no, that's rubbish. Do you think this could be a one-way if I start and finish in Delhi?
No.
Nah. Are there any gaps? Any
No.
surface? No, so it can't be that. There's only one answer left, round trip. Yeah. Do I have to work out the global indicators? No, it's the only answer left. It must be correct. How many transfer points now, not transit, transfer points on the inbound? Now, if I've decided Jakarta, Jakarta is my fair break point. I've got Bangkok and Mumbai. If I'm looking for transfer points, do I care if it's a stopover or a transit?
No.
No, in that case, 2. Okay. Let's identify this journey type. It's very similar to the one before. Now, do you think this could be a one-way? India, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, India. No, it's not going to be a one-way. Where do I start?
Delhi.
I start in Delhi, yes? Delhi, India.
Yes.
Where do I finish?
Mumbai.
Mumbai.
Mumbai. So it's almost a return, but there's no flight from Mumbai back to Delhi. So this is obviously an open jaw. We've got 4 definitions. SOJ. What do you think SOJ stands for?
Single open jaw.
Single open jaw. this is a single open jaw. But I'm looking for the best description, the best description. It's definitely not a double, and it's not a turnaround open jaw. The open jaw is in the origin country, isn't it?
Yes.
So origin open jaw tells me there's one open jaw, i.e. a single, and it tells me where this open jaw is. So which is the most precise description? Single or origin open jaw?
Origin.
Absolutely. Because a single open jaw could be the turnaround. It could be the origin. It just means one gap. Origin open jaw tells me there's one gap and it's at the origin. Much more precise. Right, another fair calculation. Brisbane to Sydney. Sorry, that should be Boston to Sydney. Right. Which airline transports the passenger Boston to Sydney? Right, there's a pause. Let's run through it. Bangkok TG to Oslo, Oslo SK to Boston, Boston, and where's the next code? Here, KL to Sydney. Because of the rule about letter number, no gaps, you can get like a jumble of stuff mixed up here. Yeah. But carrier is going to be 2 characters. So somewhere between Boston and Sydney, you're looking for the thing with 2 characters, and that's KL. Everyone okay on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The fare break point out and in is Bangkok to where? Where's my fare break point?
Is it C?
It is definitely C. What you do is from Bangkok, find the number, the total fare. And what's the city in front? Boston. So it's Bangkok to Boston. Okay, that's how you find the fare break point. Find the fare, the first number, the city in front, that's got to be your fare break point. Okay, right, before we do that one, because we're 4:05. Can you believe all the stuff you've just gone through in such a short space of time? Transit, transfers, tax,